Welcome to another edition of Tuning In with Bob Lancer and
Dr. Greg Nielsen, Dr. G.
the great Dr. G.
Hey, that's what they say. I don't
So,
say
so,
it.
one of the things I've come to
Yeah.
understand, Greg, about I know last episode we were talking about the subconscious.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to bring this up, and we kind of alluded to it, but one of the things that I've discovered is as you continue, practicing bare attention
Hmm.
and putting into place all the other principles, practices of organics. That's what this show is all about, sharing the wisdom of organics, which our teacher Isidore Friedman uh,
Hmm.
put forth. That it's like the subconscious raises to higher levels. Like we
Oh,
automatically practice bare attention more. We automatically maintain our emotional equilibrium more. We automatically watch our speech more. We automatically bring rhythm into the day.
yeah, I agree with that. I'm not sure of how to put it in words, but there's almost like a but the subconscious re responds to whatever you put your attention on. So
Mhm.
if you're focusing on being more in the mindful state,
Mhm.
or silence on the nonverbal level, whatever way you want to say it, the subconscious tends to go along with that and, like you say, kind of encourage and
Mhm.
remind even. Sometimes it'll pop in my mind, oh, gee, well, oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm
Just
glad that, yeah, I'm
like
glad that
riding
you
a
did.
bike, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like an intuitive message or something. It's hard to put in words, but yeah.
And what I've also noticed though is that while it's like the subconscious raises its level of functioning,
Hmm.
there's always the requirement of deliberate practice.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Like you can't
Yeah,
just
you
go
can.
unconscious and automatic and be conscious, right?
It's an interesting thing you bring up. I haven't really, I don't think I've ever shared this. But when I was with one of the meetings with Izzy, and I was practicing mindfulness quite a bit. And of course, not all the time. I'm a beginner, but more and more. He did mention to me sometimes you have to know when to go consciously unconscious. Did he mention that to you?
He said it in cruder terms. He said, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
At
don't
first, I
know.
went, "What? Why
Yeah.
would you want to go unconscious?" But I don't know the exact answer or answers, but there are situations where you're conscious still, but you're kind of like a dimmer switch. You kind of bring down the focal point because people around you can feel kind of weird when you're like being mindful in a certain environment. I've had people look at me and go like this because, and I realize, okay, just calm it down, tone it down a bit, be more of a reflector of your environment.
Right. Just
So,
blend or
yeah, just blend in. Yeah, sort of blend in. Don't make a big thing out of it.
right, right.
Although when you go to the Zen Buddhist monastery, they're all more or less most of them are doing this quite a bit.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a little tip of the, you
Right.
know, hey, you're working on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
another thing that occurred to me that I wanted to sort of see what your take on it
Oh
is,
yeah.
and I used to do this. I would bet that you probably fell into the same kind of uh, mistaken understanding as I did.
Mm-hmm.
That I used to, and many people that I've encountered who are on the path working on spiritual
Yeah.
self-development,
Yeah.
we used to have think that the goal is to get to a place where you don't have to practice anymore.
Oh.
You don't have to deal with inharmonious emotion anymore. You don't have to deal with negative or inane thinking anymore, where you're no longer imagining or worrying, imagining negatively or worrying. But, and that was what I thought I was heading for, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Did you fall into this
Well,
kind of?
I would call myself a neophyte. Maybe it was a neophyte belief. Okay, I practice mindfulness now here, pretty good in my opinion, for a week or two. You know what? I'm feeling my muscles.
I'm there.
I'm kind of there. I can see it's more than most people do. I'm comparing myself,
Mhm.
the ego, what do you call it? Ego inflation, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a snag you can get into,
Mhm.
but I'm kind of leaning toward what you're going to go into. It's just perpetual.
That's
Just
right.
keep on keeping on.
That's the goal. To me, the goal is not to get to a place where I don't have to practice. The
Yeah.
goal is to practice,
Just practice.
to continue to practice, deliberately practice, consciously making my choices,
Yeah.
consciously practicing maintaining my equilibrium, consciously practicing the law of three.
Yeah. And to
It's,
me,
that's the goal, is to continue to practice.
just practice. And it's there's kind of a joyful feeling that comes into it. It's not tedium. Uh, it's not, sometimes I don't even like the word work.
Hmm.
Practice is a pretty good work, a
Hmm.
word.
Hmm.
Sticking with it, staying on the path, keep on keeping on,
Hmm.
be alert, practice being conscious because everything around you is conscious. Why not just be conscious too, as much as you can?
You practice being conscious of what's going on inside.
Yeah, internally, externally.
Immediately deal with something when a ripple comes up, immediately deal with it.
Yeah.
So the
And
goal, and
yeah,
that's why a lot of people, they'll study a teaching, they'll get
yeah.
inspired, and they'll study it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or maybe even a couple of years,
Yes,
and
yes,
then they just sort of lapse back into the old unconscious program. It didn't work.
yes. I know Bit Van, on one of his writings, I don't remember the exact quote in which book it was in, because some people would ask him, how long does it take? I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if you read this part, but
Yes,
and he
yes.
said, if you don't want to, something to the effect like, you just got to give it some years, give it some time, just stick with it. And if there's something you don't understand, put it on the shelf.
Hmm.
And at some point, pick it back up rather than say, no, doesn't work for me.
Hmm.
No, I don't like it. Just stick with it.
Well, he alluded to that, the long-term practice in another way. Maybe this will ring a bell for you,
Hmm.
where at least in one of his courses, he said that, someone said, how long does this take
Yeah.
to get to the end? And he said, well, the most developed one I ever knew
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
told
Yeah.
me that
Yeah.
the most developed one he ever knew saw no end in sight.
And of course, in my old way of thinking, that sounded like, wow, insurmountable. This is, oh my God, how many lifetimes is this going to take?
Uh-huh.
Rather than now just let it go, practice,
Just practice.
and and avoid all of this over analytical when, how great, how low, how high, what stage will I get there? Forget about all that, in my opinion. Just be with the practice day to day, just as part of your lifestyle.
Did Isidore ever frame it in the way that all all of our daily challenges, whatever they
Hmm.
might be, however minimal or extreme they might be, are really just like initiations?
I agree with that.
Did he talk to you
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
The things that I come across, part of me almost smiles inside as I come across them now.
Hmm.
Before I didn't
Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of an inner smile, like as long
Yes.
as I'm aware.
Yeah, I know what you're up to, God.
Yeah, and then okay, all right, this is something to learn from, to learn with, to navigate, to transmute,
Even to
to
appreciate.
yeah, appreciate. I look forward to a lesson at the
Mhm.
pace that I can handle it.
Right, and you don't have to go out to make your life
No,
hard.
no,
The
no.
challenges, as Isidore said, they're going to come to you exactly the right measure that you need for your next step in evolution. It's handling the challenges that take you to the next step.
Yes. And there's something that happens when you do handle it fairly well, really well, and outstandingly well. Something happens, and then you go
But
on
it
to
happens when
another.
you handle it terribly
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah, when that happened terribly, you know it's coming again. It
Yeah.
won't be long.
Yeah, I had an interesting experience. I was working on my computer and I must have pressed something, and all of a sudden, all of my files disappeared.
What?
Yep, all of my files, books. I'm writing 5 books. All of
I,
them
I'm
disappeared.
calling that a deviation and distortion caused by environmental disturbance.
I called it like this. I said, I literally said, I know what you're up to, God.
Yeah.
It's not going to rattle me.
Hmm.
Maintain my peace and poise. I'm going to enjoy this process. And
Yes.
magically, Greg, boom, it all came back.
Yes, I've had similar experiences. When I let it go, it's not a problem. 9 times out of 10, temporarily or right away or soon,
Uh-huh.
next day. It's when you get all worked up and
Yep.
go through all the internal stuff that happens,
All the drama,
which, yeah, the drama, over identification, overreaction.
worry, stress, emotionalism.
Yeah, and there are glitches. Computers do weird things sometimes. I don't understand the whole thing, but yeah, you can bump it. It's recharging. There's something happening. Who knows? You can make all kinds of words that explain, but I'm glad it came back.
Me too, but you know what? I've lost files before,
Oh, yeah,
lost books. Okay, I'll write another book. You get to a point where it's just like it's just
whatever.
not worth the attachment.
And of course, I have an external hard drive. I think I'm really smart, so I back it up on a regular basis, but that can break down too.
I have the same thing.
Yeah.
So, Isidore played an immense role in both of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
We don't even have a photograph of him to share with people.
I tried to get a hold of some of that stuff, but I kind of let it go now at this point. So
Yeah.
I know
But,
where they are.
and he used to say to me, excuse me,
Yeah.
he used to say to me that the teachings were preparation for these times that we're living in now.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I brought up that to someone the other day on Saturday. Yeah.
What did,
Well, back when I would take, like you and I were going there and we'd sit with him and so on, many times he emphasized, uh, we are headed or are, our leaders are like monkeys trying to fly a 747.
Mhm.
And I told a friend of mine the other day, when did he say that? No, 1970s. He probably said it before that.
Yeah, yeah.
At the time, I thought it was like very negative. I said,
Mhm.
but as the years went by, I said, oh, yeah, at least a monkey can play and goof around. Anyway, so
Well,
things like,
he would talk about that these teachings that we're sharing, the organics
oh,
teachings,
yes,
is how to stay sane in an insane world,
definitely.
how to
Yes.
become an island of sanity in this ocean of insanity.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're living day to day, interacting with your routine, if you're with family or with friends or job or whatever you want to call it, you're not a monk somewhere off in a retreat center. You're combining. So you have to navigate the energy because it can come in waves like tsunamis at times.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're work practicing, the internal skill or muscles can handle more or less what comes at you, and you know how much to handle and let it go and take a nap.
Right. That's right.
Sometimes, yeah.
So I presume you monitor and you measure how much attention you give to the media.
Oh my God, yes.
Very
Yeah,
careful, right?
very careful.
Turn off the news when it gives you the blues.
I'm an energy being, and I don't want to. I mean, basically, I don't pay much attention to the news anyway. But part of me feels obligated to at least kind of a general scan. Who knows if that's really happening? But feel the energy,
Mhm.
but don't get into a whole thing of oh my God, and obsess on it endlessly. Yeah,
Mentally or emotionally.
and that was something Izzy talked about even back in the '70s when I was and you were.
Mhm.
That we aren't going to sit and watch the news every night.
No, you have to be careful.
That's the way it is. That's what Walter Cronkite used to say, and that's the way it is. So
And then
the is of identity,
Korzybski said there is no is of identity.
right?
Right?
So that was the initial training that he offered to me
Mhm.
about that. So yeah,
And we don't want anything, any aspect of our life to cause us to lose our equanimity,
yes, yes,
no matter what, whether
no
it's
matter what.
global, personal,
Hmm.
as a parent,
Yeah,
right?
yep, yep, yep.
Nothing.
Yeah, and
Every episode that happens, whatever we're exposed to, is an opportunity for initiation to go to
yes,
a higher level. and it seems to me like pretty simple, and that the way you pass the test is to maintain your peace and poise,
Yeah.
because then
And
you're
yeah,
guided.
yeah. And so, you stick with it and you come across areas where you get over identified and put too much energy into something, lose the equilibrium, the balance. And you go, oh gosh, I didn't. Okay, I see it now.
Right.
Now, what do I do to rebalance, realign? So, I have a tendency to get really onto something,
Mm-hmm.
and even a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's been one of my big lessons the last 10 years. A good thing can be too much.
Sure.
So you can get so caught up and it feels so good that it's too out of balance. So just let
Well,
it go.
it's all about measure.
Exactly. Measure. Thank you.
It's all about measure. It's all about maintaining equanimity. There are
Mhm.
people who like become depressed when their team loses the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I have to meet some of those people.
Maybe not.
No, I'm kidding. No, they do. No,
But I mean, they get bent out of shape. Their
oh yeah.
movie didn't win the Academy Award, or
Yes,
you
they're
know,
very true. Very true.
People magazine, and they're like weeping and crying over what happened.
Yeah, you have a lot of sports fanatics who they get all worked up, good or bad, on win or lose. So it's everywhere. I mean,
So what is it? What is it that we lose when we lose our equanimity?
first word that comes to my mind is inner freedom. The
Elaborate,
freedom,
if you would.
yeah, that to me it's the freedom to enjoy and participate in the moment in a way that feels healthy, energized, wise. There's so many words you can apply there. And it's a very strong feeling of enjoyment, of I don't want to use the word happiness, but it's stability,
Mhm.
equilibrium,
Harmony.
harmony, a lot of those kind of energies that you're feeling. And
Mhm.
they're so wonderful to experience. Why would you want to give that up for
And yet
something?
they're so subtle
Yeah.
that
Oh,
many
yeah.
people have never even tasted it.
No, they have not.
Remember, Isidore used to say, like, being centered is delicious, he would say.
Okay, there's a good word for it. Actually, that's probably the one I probably was looking for. Yeah, it's delicious. And when you know how it tastes, how it feels, when you do get thrown off center or
Even
allow yourself,
positive, even positively,
oh, oh yeah, absolutely.
as
Yeah.
an areas, over enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of my big things the last 10 years, I'm enjoying so much of what I do, I tend to get caught up. This book is fantastic. I'm going to read the whole thing today.
Right.
No, 10 pages, 5 pages, no pages. I mean, again, navigate that even.
You
So,
measure.
yeah,
You
measure.
measure its impact. So people like society is kind of oriented, and most of us have been programmed to like think like, well, if something happens that I get overjoyed, that's what it's all about. And
Mm.
they'll say only like, I want to be overjoyed all the time. Like people come to work and say, I just want to be overjoyed and excited and enthused and inspired out of my mind all the time.
Wow, your adrenaline glands are really working.
And based on the law of opposites that Isidore teaches,
Yeah,
opposites alternate. So you're going to
right.
go all the way up, you're going to go all the way down, and it's going to be
Mm.
painful. And the price you pay is the ability to experience the subtle, beautiful frequencies
Hmm.
centered in the now.
Yeah,
That's the price. And the
yeah.
clarity that comes with this, the ability to make decisions based on a clear view of the factors, reasoning by coordinates, what Isidore would talk about.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah, and
he radiated that state, didn't he?
oh my God, yeah. I mean, so I mean, we can talk about it on and on and on, which I'm glad we do, but it's the experience of doing it, practicing it, that is so uh, naturally energizing.
Yes.
Uh,
Good.
Naturally energizing. And when you get up, I get up in the day and go, oh, another day. This is fantastic.
Mhm.
Okay. How are we going to navigate the energy today?
And
And
once
it's,
once I get into it, like
yeah,
I never want to get out of it.
no, you
When I
don't.
get to that centered space,
Yeah,
I just
you,
want to like preserve it, hold my attention on it. I monitor how quickly I move, how much I talk, when I need
yeah.
to stop and rest, when I'm
Hmm.
to work on. Like the whole day is oriented toward that harmonious inner state.
Yes. Yep.
That
Similarly,
that becomes the guide.
yeah. But occasionally there's a deviation and distortion. DDCED.
Okay, so Isidore talked to you about what did Isidore teach you about that?
Well, if you go back to the book, The Law of the Breathing Spiral, he talks about we need to learn more about it. So from time to time, I would bring up something, whatever X. I wrote down a couple of examples recently within the last couple of years that came up. Sometimes you're moving right along, and whether you want to call it that or the fact that you're drawing a lesson to yourself, which is, I think, valid to say,
Mhm.
instead of deviation and distortion caused by environmental
Both,
disturbance.
real, it's both, really.
Yeah, they're kind of there. But he said that something you can be moving right along and circumstances kind of just go out of whack. And you're actually fairly centered. You're practicing on a regular basis, but curveballs will come.
Mhm.
And how are you going to handle that? Because you may have to really be, I don't know, dexterous and fluid in your movement and your internal awareness to be able to navigate that.
I think
So,
he used the phrase "sit loose to life."
yes, it loops to life. Think on your feet is
Mhm.
one of the things I would tell myself.
Mhm.
Uh, you don't have it all figured out, the illness statement.
There's always an X factor.
Is that X factor? Exactly. Several different ways you can say it. I can give you one just recently happened in the last couple of weeks because I thought about what we're going to talk today.
Mhm.
And not far from where I live, occasionally I have a meeting at this place or an office at 890 Mill Street, which is not far, about a mile from here. And I got a text message reminder, come to 890. It's like 201 Sweeto. Well, I've been there before in the past. So that was my map.
Right.
So I go there. I'm making a longer story short. Go
Hmm.
upstairs to the second floor and look at the door. It's locked. Okay. I think I'm going into a deviation and distortion. There's no one there. So I look at my phone. Yeah, that's the address. Okay, yeah. And then I see a sign on the door. We have moved to 850 Mill Street.
Oh,
And there's a and it's whoever copied and put it up on the door, the toner must have been out on the copier.
okay. At the moment that you saw that,
Yeah,
what was your internal reaction?
thank you. That's something I was going to bring up. I felt a little bit uh, reactivity, emotional,
Shaken?
a little bit of shaking. Having been through these many times before, within a second or two, I began to, how do I get back to center? Rhythmic breathing, relaxation. What's the worst case scenario? You walk 200 feet to 850 Mill Street. Things like that went through my mind. So it kind of brought the pulse beat down a bit.
Hmm.
There's a phone number. I call the number. I start walking toward 850 Mill Street. I can go on and on. I finally got in there, went upstairs. No, there was no clear door to which the office was. So I kept going to different rooms. It all, I think I went to three or four rooms till I found it, and it worked out fine.
Yeah, but look at how typical, the typical reaction
Yeah.
situation like that, like anger, frustration.
Yeah.
Why
Panic.
me? I didn't do anything wrong, and
They
why is
took,
God doing this to me?
and they sent me the thing, and they gave me the address. I looked at my
Right,
phone. There it is. Yeah, it's
right.
890.
And all the stress and the
Mhm.
fear that
Yep.
comes in at that point.
It was a wave of all, like you described, a lot of the emotions, layers of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I would say I was caught in that web to some degree, even until I got to the place and found out this is where the new location is and walked in. And they acted like, well, you didn't know we were here?
No
So that
communication.
caused another reaction.
Right, right.
So I let that go. Here's the thing, I reflected on it later, and I noticed when I was driving down Mill Street, my eye noticed a sign big on the side of a building, 850 Mill Street. It was almost like later on my intuition.
Wow.
If I'd been in the moment, I might have been more responsive, but I was going by the past because this is where you always go. You park, you go up to the second floor, and there they are. So there's a lot of layers to this,
So, but
but
it's the expectation
mhm.
things are going to go the way you expect them to go, the way they've gone before, the way you predict them to go.
Yep.
They don't go that way. Like Bob Dylan has a line in a song. He says, "You always have to be prepared, but you never know for what." You know,
It's true.
and Korzybski talks about, in Science and Sanity, which was so central to organics. He talks about an example of sitting on a chair and like a
Oh,
portion of your consciousness
yeah,
to be aware that this chair may not hold me.
right, right.
Even
Yeah,
though
I
it
think
helped me a million times before, it may not hold me. Not that I should be afraid, but that I should be aware.
yes,
I face situations like that where it's the unexpected comes in,
yeah.
throw a wrench in it. At this point, it's almost like, we were talking earlier about how the subconscious evolves. Like I immediately just hear in my inside, let it go.
Hmm.
Just let go.
Let it go.
Just let
Breathe
go.
it out.
Yeah.
Let it go. Relax. Whatever works for
Don't,
you.
don't catastrophize.
Yeah, you can. Otherwise, you get caught into a frequency band where a lot of the other people are, and you become consumed.
You get lost.
Yeah, consumed by it.
Yeah, because the rattled energy starts to consume you. The chaos comes into you rather than you bringing order into the
And a
situation.
lot of times you go through this whole justification thing, and I have a right to feel this way, and so
Rain.
everybody does it kind of a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have another example, if
Okay,
I can.
great.
Okay. This happened several years ago. So I was in a drive to class, this class I was giving, and just some of the circumstance, it's not that far away, but the one entrance was not available to get into this schooling area because of the highway construction. So I went the back way, which I started doing for several weeks while they were doing construction. So I got to that location to turn left to go up to the campus uphill, and there was a car accident. And I left early. I tend to leave a little early because you never know what's going to happen. So I allowed 15, 20 minutes, a half hour. So I'm there going through that emotional vibe. I'm probably 25 to 50 cars backed up to the turning lane to be able to go there. And there's an accident going on and police and all that kind of thing. So to me, that was totally unexpected because it's always open. I mean, always, the
Right.
always statement.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I went through the similar thing we just discussed. Let it go, take a deep breath, regroup, recenter. Uh, it's not a disaster. Like no one's going to really die. You're safe. And then I realized many, many years ago, whenever I have a group class from time to time, I get everybody's phone number and I create a group text, kind of a backup.
Hmm.
Because I know Izzy would say, try to solve your problem before you get it. So sometimes I try to think, what would I do that if something happened, I could at least get a hold of the students and tell them what's going on. So I had it on my phone. I could text them all and say, hey, here's what's going on. You may not be able, blah, 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 blah. So that
Right.
kind of calmed things down.
Mhm.
Once I got really calm again, recentered somewhat to some greater degree, miraculously, the accident just cleared up. It's like it could happen like in 20 seconds. They pulled the car over, they did this, they did that. Police came in, moved this way, moved that way. And I got there in plenty of time.
It was almost like it was a play for
Yeah,
you to see
exactly.
your reactivity and say,
Yeah.
okay, to let
Here's
that go and to let it
here.
go sooner next time. Because, when we're having that reactive, we could call it like a reactive phase.
Yes, yes.
During the reactive phase, we're not functional.
No.
Like there's a delay between what's happening and our ability to handle it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so,
and if you don't have that separation, whatever works for you, catch it, be aware of it. That cortical gap is what Korzybski talks about. Take a deep breath, count to 10, whatever works. You start to separate from the identification, then you can reignite that connection to being aware in the moment.
and that applies to things that you like as well.
Oh yeah, oh
as
yeah.
as we integrate into our daily living the practice of being non-reactive
Yeah,
to whatever's
non-reactive.
happening, which doesn't mean that you're all closed off and shut down. And,
No.
it just means that you're maintaining that harmonious, lovely, centered state that feels
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, I notice now that I'm practicing for quite a while, when things happen, sometimes I don't react that much, if at all. And I almost kind of laugh inside. It's
Yeah.
kind of, not in a sarcastic way, kind of in a light humor way. And oh, okay, well, I dropped the ketchup on the kitchen floor. Okay, that'll be fun to clean up. Whatever. I don't,
And
whereas I might,
then, like, just even an example like that, it's like
Mhm.
people react, oh, now I got to clean it up. And it's like, you can clean it up in a lovely, balanced way.
Exactly. And I got the enjoyment of the red color. Let me read the bottle. Let me read the bottle. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of sugar in
And then just the
there.
creating an orderly process. Oh, let me
Yes,
get the paper towel and just wipe it up. Okay, I'll throw this one out. And I'll do it very consciously. And you can maintain
yes,
what it really, it's like true joy. It's
yes,
joy for no reason. It's
yeah.
the joy of it's I think life itself, the energy of life is joyful.
Hmm.
And I think that's what we start to nurture ourselves on when we practice this non-reactive, not going to extremes, right? Not going way up and then crashing way down.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think the more we practice, at least it's happened for me, the more automatic being non-reactive becomes.
Yeah, it does become a conscious habit, if you want to call it that, you know. You just do it because it works. And you like it and you enjoy it and you've learned to some degree to do that. Now, every so often you may come across something that finds a little chink in your armor.
Oh, you will.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're not hermetically sealed and for a long
Right.
time.
That's right.
I'm not there. I mean, so
But that's
whenever,
that's what I was talking about earlier. Like that's people's goal. They think, okay, that's
yeah,
what they get to. No, you just have to get to the place where you process it right away.
yeah, as soon as possible. Hopefully your reactivity is almost nothing
Right.
or minimal and it's just like glide on to the next.
Right.
Yeah.
So remaining centered in the context of, and I have to read it because there's so many words, deviations and distortions due to environmental, what is it, influences or
Uh, Deviation is caused by environmental disturbances.
disturbances, environmental.
That's what I remember. Disturbances. And of course I laughed when he brought it up. I
Yeah.
said, who could remember that? So it's kind of a joke in my own mind.
It's kind of like an engineering principle.
Yeah, exactly. So
Remember that, things can go askew at any time and not to
and
worry.
and there are engineering examples of beautifully constructed with a team of engineers of bridges. You can even go on YouTube and see pictures of this. But they didn't figure in the high winds. High meaning like 150 miles an hour, you know,
Or the
because they
electric cars, the weight of
exactly.
electric cars
Yeah.
puts more
So
stress on the bridges.
so sometimes a bridge would fall down in a high wind, it go like this
Yeah.
and then just crumble.
And if you're in
You
a high wind and the bridge is going like this, stay calm.
stay calm. You
Let
may
it go.
land on your feet
That's right. Let
or
go.
the tires of your car. I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to lose. I'm trying to think. Vic Van talks about it. I think he calls it the north half, the higher psyche
Yeah, the North Half.
level. Like I think he refers to it as the Garden of Aru.
Yeah, that's an Egyptian. They had the north and south Egypt, which was just a metaphor for your own energy field.
Right. So the
Yeah.
south is the lower chakras, the north is the higher
Hmm.
chakras. And
Right.
this being, one of the things that I practice that I find helpful is based on the principle that what you hold your attention on receives more power.
Oh
Your
yeah.
goes in the direction of attention. So I practice conscious, I'm even doing it now.
Yeah.
I practice consciously feeling that harmonious vibration of being centered.
Yes.
I practice holding my attention on that harmonious vibration of being centered in order to empower it and to get more rooted into it.
Yeah, and then when you do that, you're kind of, I don't know, trying to find the right term here. In it, but not of it. I mean,
Hmm?
you're interacting with the environment from that center. So people may look at you like, well, you're doing this, you're walking down the street, you're going grocery shopping. Well, you're doing that in a centered state, more or less. I mean,
Hmm.
driving,
Hmm.
walking, shopping, whatever. So you're living your life that way. So
Well, there's a,
everything becomes a meditation.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
So Isidore in the book Bare Attention,
Yeah.
if you have it handy to show it, I don't have it.
I don't know if I can show it because I have his cover up there. Yeah, practicing bare attention.
Yeah.
Here's my edit. I don't know if you can see it.
No, not quite. But it's a beautiful cover. I love that. I love the monk. I,
Yeah.
but anyway, he Isidore shares a practice in there where you practice looking at an object,
Yes.
but while you're looking at the object, be aware of your presence.
Hmm.
Be aware of yourself looking at the object. You don't
Right.
lose yourself to the object. And that practice, I think, cultivates the ability to find, to recognize, and to preserve your center.
Yes. Yes. And yeah,
And
finding your center is, like they used to call in some mythological places the world navel, the center of the universe, the mountain.
mhm,
It all is metaphors for the same thing, basically. Each person has to find their own center
mhm,
and what that is for them.
mhm, mhm.
It's similar but different how
Yeah,
you do it.
well, yeah, yeah. And I think essential for me,
Mhm.
which we devoted, I think, a whole show to it, was the practice of bare attention.
Yes.
So for me, like whenever I rest, I practice bare attention while I'm resting.
Yes.
Whereas I'm watching my mind, I'm watching
Hmm.
my feelings, I'm not drifting off into this fantasy land.
Yeah.
He explains it so beautifully in the book on bare attention that you just published.
Oh yeah, he does. That
Explicitly.
that was, I think I told you, or I sent you the material he gave me. He had somebody type it up. It is different.
It's
It was
very different
it
writing.
was in, I think it was 1977, 78. So that was the later stages of me getting things with him and from him.
It was so
And
perceptive, so deep,
very, yeah.
like the anatomy of consciousness.
Yes. Yeah.
And just reading that book helps me to become
Oh,
more aware. But he talks about brilliantly about how, and I've only noticed myself doing this through the practice of bare attention, that we can live a whole day just off in a fantasy,
oh yeah.
not even present. So the subconscious programming of the past is ruling how I'm dealing with the present, and the
Hmm.
present is never equal to the past. The now is always new.
And
So
of course
we're controlling what is.
you can get this in this non-bare tension loop, and then you can justify it. Well, this is normal.
Right.
This is how I am. This is how life is. This is what I'm
Some
supposed
people
to
say, I
do.
like it. I like to live in my fantasies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
I mean, you can still use your conscious imagination to
Mhm.
focus on possible goal, maybe in the near future,
But it's
far
deliberate.
future.
It's
It's
deliberate.
still deliberate, and it's not something you cling to. It's like
Right.
a guidepost, maybe, or
Hmm.
a direction finder.
Hmm.
And you when you start moving in that direction, you can still feel like I need to tweak that.
Hmm.
That image or that goal doesn't really align.
Well, and sometimes the mind can get caught in a loop and it doesn't want to come out.
No.
Like you could bring it out and it comes back, goes right back in.
Yes.
One of the remedies I found for that, which helps somewhat, is I ask myself, what should I think about right now?
That's a good, I like that. Yeah.
Should I think about right? Because that holds it in advance and opens me up to receive higher guidance of, what isn't intelligent. Because if I bring about what I think about, if my mind sort of steers the direction of where my life is going, well, where do I want my life to go? Well, now I'm thinking about my priority. Now I'm getting centered again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Another little technique that I've used for that is I'll ask myself, is this what I want to manifest?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I compare it. to the sport of in fishing, they have a sport called catch and release.
Hmm.
Know about that? Where you catch
Yeah,
the fish and no, not this one, you throw it back. So
right.
that's the attitude toward mind.
Yes.
I'll catch a
That,
thought, I'll evaluate it. No, that's just
yeah.
Tennessee
A
garbage.
lot of times how wise is it for me to focus on this right now, all things considered?
Right.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, yeah.
That was something we started doing when we worked with the pendulum, that question, what
Right.
is the wisdom of this
Mhm.
activity, this thought, this direction, this path? And if it comes in like not wise, let it go.
So at this stage, we've been practicing for decades.
Yeah.
We had the fortune, and Isidore used to say it, and he didn't say it in a self-aggrandizing way, but he would say many times how fortunate we are to have a true teaching,
Uh,
right?
it's beyond miracle.
A teaching that really works, right?
Yes, yes.
So we've been living this for many decades,
Yeah, decades.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe a century if you combine
Yeah,
what we've been
yeah,
practicing this
yeah,
together, right?
yeah.
100 years, right?
Right.
Um, what, where are you at now? How are you different than you were when you first met Isidore?
I would say the number one thing for me is the degree of flexibility, much more flexible than I used to be. I used to be so fixated. This is right. This is wrong. This is good. This is bad.
Dogmatic,
Yeah, dogmatic is a good word.
mystic, yeah.
I was very dogmatic, but I didn't think I was. That's how dogmatic I was. I thought how flexible I am. So to me, it's like things change constantly, and it's okay. You can think you have it figured out, but you don't.
Mhm,
Again, going back to even the fact that I'm driving down at this meeting like a mile away,
mhm,
and part of my mind is going, even the same office, they acted like, what's the big deal? I thought we told you. You just have to go with it. You let it go. You don't stick with it. You don't, what's the word? Fixate on the frustration
mhm,
and how it should be. That's probably some of the biggest things for me
mhm,
is it's just the willingness to accept what is
mhm,
with a certain degree of wisdom,
mhm,
a certain degree of understanding, a certain degree of flexibility to change the direction
mhm,
and not be stuck having to have it the way you think it should be. Does
mhm,
that
mhm.
make any sense at all?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Isidore wrote a whole paper on it called "What Is and What Should Be," right?
Right.
What is,
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact title of it, but it was
Yeah.
those lines that we have these expectations. This is the way it ought to be,
Yeah.
and I guess the answer to that is everybody thinks they know better than God what should happen next.
Yeah. I mean, when I come across these things, I almost forget about them within seconds after they happen. Whereas I might have harped on it in my mind. Today, I stopped by a place here. I'm supposed to go in and pick up something, like about 3 blocks from here. Pull in, get to the door, locked. Now there was an older guy out there, and maybe he's the same age as me. I don't know, by older, but there's a sign on the door. They're not going to open till 2:30. They were going to open at 1. Oh, well, thank you, sir. And I and I left. Now I would say 5 or 10 or 15 years ago, I've been calling them up. You
Mm,
told me 1 o'clock.
right.
What's the problem? I'm almost feeling like good. I go home, I'll sit down, I'll have a little lunch.
This is a test. It's only a test.
Exactly. And
Everything,
wasn't nothing urgent. It was nothing, no emergency there.
even
I
there's sometimes it seems like wisdom is never letting anything make you have a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like you look forward to something that doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it gives me an
Oh,
opportunity to let go.
so that's what's going to happen today? Okay, good.
Right.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it doesn't
great.
have to ruin my state.
Now, if I'm tired and I'm somewhat unconscious, I could have been swept along
That's right.
more. And
That's why
I
it's
would
so
say,
essential to be well rested.
yeah, well rested. And I would say back when I was in the process of learning, doing pretty well, then forgetting that I would get caught up. And sometimes it's almost like I would be glued to it, like crazy glue for
Right.
part of a day, a couple of days, a
That's what the
week.
emotions do. They make
Yeah.
it seem like it's the most important thing in the universe.
Yeah. And I would just drain the heck out of myself.
Right.
Then later realize, what do you,
And blame the person who wrote the note.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Call the mayor,
Um,
call the president, call
I'm not going to take this,
exactly.
and people don't risk. They're just ruining because in many instances, they've never tasted the sweet nectar,
Yeah.
centered, balanced state
Hmm.
and how precious it is.
And you're helped along the way. Just the fact that that guy was at the door saved me. I didn't have to look at the sign. I didn't have to try to figure it out. I didn't have to, maybe they're going to open the door in a few minutes and I should wait. He just said, hey, they don't open their door till 2:30. They changed it from 1 o'clock to 2:30. Thank you. I don't, I don't have to even look into it. I was
Um, um,
given.
Sometimes the biggest waste of time is complaining about how someone else is wasting your time. It's like, okay, so the door's not going to open for an hour and a half. What's the best use of my hour and a half? What's the best use of my now? Oh, I know. I'll get all bent out of shape, upset, irate, raise my blood pressure, or go home with a headache.
Yeah.
That,
Meanwhile, I climbed in the car. I drove 2.5 blocks to where I live, went upstairs, made myself a nice little lunch, a nice omelet with some onions and cheese, and very tasty.
for a tourist, that's important.
It was. It was the right thing at the right time.
I think for me, one of the biggest lessons has been to not force,
Yeah.
to sense the flow
Hmm.
of things and to sense when I'm forcing,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
even based on the belief that, oh, you got to work hard,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that
I'm glad you
pro,
brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Over the last 4 or 5 years, my self-talk. I come from the Midwest. I come from, maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. This whole thing on the work ethic was ingrained in me, even when it comes to making an effort to be conscious.
mm,
I got to work. That's why I like the word practice better
yeah,
than the work ethic. Oh, I'm working on it. And I
right,
caught myself saying that a lot.
right,
Working on this, working on this. Hey, stop working.
right,
Enjoy it.
right. Play it
Play it. Yeah.
like an instrument. You don't work at playing the saxophone, you play the saxophone.
Yeah. Just play it. Play it. I love that. So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been letting that go more and more.
Yeah, that
And
belief, that program that you
yeah.
gotta work hard, or one of the principles I've discovered is like don't leave happiness to find it,
Right. If you're in it,
you know. Don't
yeah.
make yourself miserable trying to get to a place that you think will make you happy.
Yeah,
What that
the greater happiness,
greater happiness, the
Yeah,
greater happiness.
even more. There's even more out there somewhere.
So to not force, the name of our show is tuning in.
Yeah.
And that really comes down to, being on the energy level,
Yes.
sensing the vibration, sensing the flow,
Yeah.
things, waking up to that other level. Vivian calls that a first degree initiate, I believe, when you wake
Yeah.
up to the energy level.
Yeah.
Um,
Making the first crossing is another way he puts
First
it.
crossing, that's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
First crossing.
And becoming an energy being is really that's where if you're in the path and you're enjoying it and you want to continue, that's kind of where you're going. You can use different terms for it, but you're learning to navigate energy, feel the energy, know the energy, resonate with good, more positive energy, detune from more negative energy. So yeah, you were saying though you were going to keep
Yeah.
going. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, reminding ourselves over and over again that any solid object that I'm looking at
yeah,
is a dynamic energy system, that we live in a dynamic energy universe, that my physical body is a configuration of energy units.
hmm,
It's not the solid way that it appears to my senses. And I don't know of any other way of navigating through life than being conscious on the energy level.
yeah. And
It's to go with the flow.
occasionally you run into people a lot of people will agree with you if you bring this topic up, but they don't practice being an energy being. And then you'll say things like Bitban did, like you just brought it up. Say to everything, look at everything, feel everything is an energy. But it's not something you just say once.
No.
Because I was so ingrained in everything's a thing, hard rock matter, that I was stunned at 2, 3 years into that practice, on and off.
Mhm.
I said, "Whoa, this is a quite a commitment."
Hmm.
to make that transition. I don't know if some of the younger people today are born with that more natural energy
It
being.
may be.
Some of them are. I think my granddaughter tends to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And
and some of the
especially
students,
if they're exposed to someone who's functioning that way.
and I know my son picked that up for me, and he acts like, "What are you bringing it up for?" Even, he doesn't say that, but he looks at me like, "Of course."
Right.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's like your state, your feeling state in the present moment is more important than any outcome you hope to achieve.
yeah.
If you whatever you lose your balance for, it doesn't matter. The chaos starts coming in, the
Yes.
mayhem, the misery, the sickness, the disorder, all of that stuff starts to fester when you lose that center. So seek that center. I know one of the exercises I did to get to that center, um, I would do it on the beach, when we were studying with Isidore, we lived right by the beach.
Yes. Oh, it's wonderful there.
Seagate near,
Yeah.
near Coney Island, and I would go to the beach and I'd make a circle in the sand. And I would do this any season,
Hmm.
stand in the center of that circle and just try to tune into the center of my being.
Oh, that's a wonderful practice. Yeah.
Just try to feel it as I look at the ocean or just close my eyes and listen to the ocean. Just try to tune into the feeling of the center of my being. And
Mhm.
eventually I made contact.
Yeah. There is a frequency band of some sort that you resonate to.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming it's very similar to anybody who finds the center.
Hmm.
But when you live in that center more and more, I would say even naturally gravitate toward it.
Mm,
I know if I wake up in the morning, I really don't spend a lot of time going, I hate this life. I can't stand it. I hate what I'm gonna do today. No, I get up and go, let me feel that energy.
right. Let me get right into it.
Fairly quickly. You
Yeah.
know, I don't really spend a lot of time having weird
Mm.
thought patterns whipping through my brain cells.
And Bitfan, I think this is what he's referring to. Like biblically, it's like um, uh, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven that is within, and all else will come unto you.
Yeah.
To me, the kingdom of heaven that is within is the centered, lovely space in the now
Hmm.
that every challenge that occurs is giving me an opportunity to deepen my roots
Hmm.
into that center.
And then of course you emanate this energy. I guess in India they call it the darshan,
Mhm.
uh, whatever level of darshan you're experiencing. And you attract more of that from people, places, things, opportunities,
Circumstances, yeah, yeah.
circumstances.
It's like everything just,
Doors open.
yeah, all by itself.
Yeah.
And
You don't
and
have,
heavenly agencies, angelic vibrations, presence of beings, it just feels like you're being helped and supported. And the
yes,
people who come into your sphere are more lovely and peaceful and happy,
yes.
you know?
Yeah. You tend to, I don't know, write the terminology, but you resonate to it, you attract it more.
Yeah.
Your being attracts your life, I guess is the term some people use.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's wonderful. You wonder who you're going to attract.
Your,
Uh,
your state determines your fate.
yeah. And it bears out for the more or less. And so you look forward to who you're going to bump into today. What circumstance was going to arise?
Hopefully you don't bump into them too hard.
No.
But
That's too
it
good.
also comes down to like harmonious relationships.
Hmm.
And when you're having a harmonious interaction with someone, it raises both of your energy fields,
Yes.
raises the
Yes.
level of you're manifesting, right?
Yep.
And by contrast, when you're with someone who doesn't want to get along, who's being difficult, who's not
Hmm.
right,
Yes.
wants to conflict, right? It creates the opposite kind. So we have to distance ourselves from
Yeah.
people who don't want to get along.
The best you can, like you say, distant yourself rather than conflict with the person or
That's right.
try to make your point so that you know you're right and they're wrong.
Don't
Who
try to
cares?
beat
Let
them.
it go. Yeah, just let them win. They're a winner. Good.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much.
That's
I
right.
believe that. I think you're right about that over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because I can't take responsibility. It's enough to take responsibility for my own thinking
Yeah.
to try to run their thinking. Well, Dr. G, we have come to the close of another center.
Wait a minute. Are
Yes,
you what?
time travels fast when you're having
You're
fun.
amazing. Okay. Well, fantastic. Thank you very much, Bob.
Pleasure. Thank you. And
Enjoy the rest of your day.
enjoyed the rest of everything.
Yeah,
And Greg, I will connect with you next time on Tuning In with Bob
sounds good.
Meltzer and Dr. Greg Nielsen.
I appreciate it. Enjoy.
Adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo.